a wife and a mother and an insurance agency owner, a friend, and a PTA advocate. I am so excited to talk about all of the things that I find most precious here within our community, within our lives, and within our faith, friendships, and relationships. Here on Heather's Most Precious. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Heather's Most Precious. I am so excited about today's episode and our guest, Josselyn.
Hi, Heather. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. So we met a few months ago. Actually, it's been several months ago at this point.
Oh, my goodness.
We are both part of the chamber and hosted an event quarterly. It's called Glass Ceiling Women's Society, Breaking the Glass Ceiling Women's Society.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not quite right. And so the East Brainerd Chamber Council, we have a committee that puts that together. It's been a lot of fun. We had a panelist of women that are business owners just to engage everybody and share what their experience has been, kind of share some encouragement. That's how Josselyn and I first connected. And immediately thought of her through this. So she owns a boutique. And I would love for you to tell them about your boutique.
Well, Heather, first I want to say you give the best hugs. And as soon as we met, you just gave me just the biggest smile, the biggest hug. And it's just, you know, when you meet those people that you just feel like you could just talk about anything and then
got a connection.
You know, had a connection. Yeah. So when you asked me to come to your podcast, I was super happy and excited. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what was the question again? Because I got sidetracked.
No, you're good.
Okay.
So tell us about your boutique.
Yes. So about 5 months ago, we opened North Star Boutique. It's been quite a roller coaster. It all started with a prom dress, Heather. Yes, that's how it all started. About 5.5 years ago, when our oldest daughter was needed to shop for a prom dress. As any mother-daughter at that age, you're excited. Okay, Mom, let's go shopping. You know, this weekend we're going to shop.
Big ordeal.
It's a big ordeal. It's our first daughter and, you know, you're building memories. And so we had it all planned out. We were going to go find the perfect prom dress. And then we were going to go out to eat and get earrings and the shoes. You know, it's just those experiences that you look forward to, you know, to having with your teenage daughter. And off we went to the stores, and store after store after store, she couldn't find something that was age appropriate. And so it got to the point, you know, what's supposed to have been a positive, uplifting experience. Yes, shopping for prom dresses, we knew it wasn't going to necessarily be super easy, but we thought it was going to be a fun experience. But really, there wasn't many options that were age appropriate for a 16-year-old. And so we're walking after store after store after store and nothing. And, you know, it just got to the point that she's just said, Mom, I really don't even want to go anymore. And that experience really stayed in me. Again, I had never owned a retail store. I have never owned a boutique or been in the fashion industry. But as a mother, not just as a mother, but as a woman in general, it just really stayed with me. It kind of left a pit in my stomach, to be honest. And I just remember thinking, we're probably not the only ones that are going through this. We were probably not the only ones that are looking for modest styles that are classy, that are age appropriate for 16-year-olds. And so that was that experience 5.5 years ago. But of course, I wouldn't know what to do with it. You know, what to do, you know, how do I fix this? I didn't even think I could. And so fast forward 5 years later, when I had to leave the chamber, my full-time job, to homeschool, and my husband said to me, well, Josselyn, you know, you've been prompted to do something about this. For 5 years, you've just felt like Heavenly Father's been prompting you, do something. And in those 5 years, I would say, okay, but what, God? Like, what do you want me to do? I've never been in the fashion industry. Like, what, you want me to start a podcast about, talking about it, or you want me to start a Facebook campaign, like what to do. And then so it became clear really quickly that the best way to do something about it is to provide a space where teenagers and above, because that's what we have at the boutique, we carry, is to provide a space where girls and women can walk in and find styles that showcase their inner beauty. And that is how North Star came about. And here we are.
That is so fabulous. I love that. I love the mom heart in that.
Yeah.
And how disheartening to go. And I've seen it. The dresses every year. I'm grateful in this moment that I do not have girls, but get shorter.
Yeah.
We are, and even I was excited when they were bringing high-waisted things back, but they're not. They're bringing high-waisted, so your britches go up to your boobies, but yet your cheeks are still showing. Like, this is not, we're still rolling them up and whatever. And yes, there's not. And I think we've talked about this too. The word modest scares people.
Yeah.
And we're not asking to no skin showing anywhere. This is not what we're asking.
Yeah.
But there's a way to dress for your body while also not allowing everybody to see every part that you own, especially being younger, right?
Yeah, that is one of the things, like we were talking earlier, that I struggle with, because we never want to come across as being a boutique that tells people how to dress.
Yes.
But we know that there are women out there that are looking for these type of styles. And so we want to be that space for them. And we want to provide, it's really hard to find in the fashion industry. When I go out shopping for the boutique, I don't know if our customers realize that that's where the hardest part is you're sifting through hundreds and hundreds of styles when I go shopping for the boutique to find the styles that fit this category that we were discussing. And Heather, one time I saw, as I was getting ready to open the boutique, I was reading this article in a magazine, and I have it on my vision board at the boutique, because I think it's a good reminder for me to be bold in the mission, and so it's the title of the article says, it's titled "Modest is More Than Clothes." And in this article, it talked about how modesty relates to how we talk with others, the language that we use, what we watch on TV, the music that we hear is not just about the clothing. I know it's something that when we say modest, we think about clothes, and there's a phrase there that I really love, and it's just so engraved in my heart. And I try to remember that as the boutique grows, which is, modesty is an outward expression of our inner commitment to how we are divinely made, created as women. And the modesty is an outward expression to our inner commitment to who we truly are as daughters of God. And I love that, because that can look different for different body types.
Absolutely.
And so I hope that with North Star, we just create an atmosphere and encourage people to dress in a way that you feel you're representing womanhood in the best way possible. And so we hope we can create that.
That's awesome. Now, I know you said kind of teenagers and above. And the coolest thing is that you offer such a wide variety of sizes, especially being a boutique, which is sometimes known for being very, very limited and exclusive, right? Not inclusive of everybody. So tell me, kind of go over the sizing and tell us how you kind of are set apart from the typical boutique.
We are very unique in different things. One of them is, like we shared, whenever we find the styles that we're going to carry in the boutique, we promise the number one standard we're always going to have when we find these styles is finding styles that uphold the highest standard of womanhood. And so that's number one. Number two is we try to have pockets in most of our dresses and skirts, which is really hard. When our customers realize that there's a garment that has pockets, they go crazy.
What is it about that? Anytime you have a dress, you're like, it's this, and it has pockets.
As soon as I say, did you notice it has pockets? They go crazy.
Yeah.
And so because we like to be able to put our lipstick or our debit card or, something that convenience is super nice, or a cell phone. So we're trying, not everything, but we are almost there. We're slowly getting to that with pockets with everything. Of course, great quality. And of course, we carry sizes extra small to 3X. It's really important for us that women of all shapes and sizes can walk into a boutique and find something beautiful for them. If I truly believe that you are a daughter of God, and you're the best creation that he's ever made here on earth, of course I'm going to want to have those styles for everyone.
Absolutely.
And that's really unusual to find in a boutique, to find, all those sizes. And so, unfortunately, not all designers do sizes that are all inclusive. And when I'm out shopping and I find really beautiful things, and they're not inclusive in the sizes, I plead my case, really. I really do. And I encourage these people that are in the fashion industry, they're the people that are making the styles, that are making the clothes. I tell them, you have beautiful items, the quality is great, but could I encourage you to carry extra small to 3, 4X if possible? Because it's not only just the plus sizes, but also the petite sizes.
Of course.
It's been actually one of the biggest eye-openers for me since I've had the boutique. There are very, very petite women that have a hard time finding adult styles for their bodies, and they almost have to shop at a children's store, and so they have a hard time too. So I also need to advocate for the really small sizes, petite sizes. So that makes us very unique.
That's awesome. I love that wherever you fall on the spectrum that you're going to have something. I can't remember. It seems like I don't remember a lot before the pandemic, but kind of during that time, just body positivity has come a long way where it used to be very like, oh, people are plus size or they're whatever. Curvy is a much better way to say it. Maybe a little fluffy, and that's okay.
Yeah, I'm curvy too, so.
but I just think there are so many people that before, right? It's like look like the size 2 on the magazine or whatever. Then we have Meghan Trainor that comes out with that about the face. And Lizzo, all of these people that are now celebrating body positivity, that whether you're a size 000 or a size 30, it doesn't matter. Like, be confident in your skin and be kind. And if you're not, just be kind, right?
Yes, that is another thing that makes us unique is that we try, our social media messaging is really important to us. We know that younger girls, teenagers, they all have access to social media.
Absolutely.
And they're on their phones, and social media has made such an impact on mental health of these, young women. And so we want to be a positive influence when it comes to social media. And so we share a lot the messaging of inner beauty. We share the message that really it's your talents, your skills, how you help your parents at home, how you volunteer in the community, how you share your skills and your talents with the rest of the world is what's going to give you that inner beauty that is going to show on the outside. And we know, Heather, when we feel good about ourselves on the inside, is going to show on the outside. And so that is the best accessory that you can put on every day when you get ready in the morning and you look in front of the mirror. And so that is a message that we really try to focus on. when it comes to social media. And so we hope that people notice that and then that they gravitate towards it, because the reason why we named it North Star, and that brings me to that point, is, you know, coming up with a name when you're going to start a business is so hard, because you think you have to come up with the best name ever. And it's like, you know, I have one chance and I can never change it.
Can't be too long, can't be too short. It has to have a meaning, all of the things.
All of the things. How is it going to translate it to marketing and this and that? And so, but from the very beginning, North Star came to my heart because for many different reasons. One, I couldn't name the store Jesus, so I thought, what else could kind of sort of, you know, be like that? And I've always loved looking at the sky. My kids will tell you when we travel, I always have them at least one morning wake up when it's pitch black so we can go see the sunrise. Because I just think it's so special when you're looking up in the sky. For me, what it does for me is that it reminds me, gives me a tiny glimpse of, out of all of this, the universe that Heavenly Father created, the stars, the moon, the earth, I am still His most precious creation. And so it just really helps me when I feel like I'm drowning in problems or, you know, just whatever may be going on, any stress triggers. When I'm out and looking at the sunrise and I look in the sky, it just reminds me, Josselyn, nothing else matters. Like you are His, greatest creation. And so I love the North Star because God has been my constant. He is that I can just concentrate that direction and that's my goal. And so that's why I love North Star. But the second reason why I love North Star is because I feel like when it comes to changing the narrative of the fashion industry, social media, when it comes to our bodies are being objectified as women in music videos. And, I don't need to tell you, we all know this. I feel like we cannot leave it up to other people to change the narrative. I truly feel that it's going to be up to us women to change the narrative of what gets said about women's bodies. And so I feel, to me, we are each other's North Stars. That's what I'm hoping, that when I see you, Heather, and I met you for the first time and you had that huge warm smile and you gave me the warmest hug, to me, you are being a North Star to me of what I want to strive to be. Like, I want to have a smile like Heather when I meet people for the first time. I want to be able to give a hug. Like, I want to make other people feel like you made me feel in that moment. And so to me, we are each other's North Stars, not social media, not the fashion industry, each other. And so that is also, that is the second reason why I named it North Star.
That's awesome. I love that for so many reasons. And I love that being each other's North Star, right? And building each other up instead of tearing each other down wherever they are. I think is huge. And you're right. So much, you always hear beauty comes from within. And as there's so much truth to that. But when you are in a good place, when you feel good about yourself, you look your best. You dress your best. It does come out of the clothing and how you're able to express yourself. What tips or tricks could you give somebody who was struggling to express themselves with their clothing, or maybe didn't feel like their clothing line did that for them? What would you suggest?
What I've tried to do since I've opened the boutique is always hire people or surround yourself with people that know more about that subject than you do.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know it, it's not just going to come out of thin air. And so surround yourself with people that do know, that can give you those tips and tricks like we were talking about. That is another thing that makes us unique at North Star is we have partnered with an image consultant from House of Color, which is a worldwide company, is worth every penny because like we were talking earlier, a lot of times we'll see as women, we see a beautiful color on a dress and we think, oh my goodness, that color is amazing. It looks fantastic. And then you go, you buy it, you take it home, you put it on, and you don't feel good. Well, guess what? We don't all look good on the same colors.
Right.
And so there's colors that look best on you. There's styles that look best on you based on your body proportions. So there's apps actually that have come out where you take a picture of yourself and it'll help you tell you what colors look good. You can put in your body measurements and based on your body proportions, it will give you a guide on, do you dress bulky on the top or do you dress bulky on the bottom or do you do high waist? And so really spend the time to look for those resources that to help you, because a lot of times there's a lot of suffering that we go through that is unnecessary if we get the right people.
And I would say for those who are not local, you do have a website.
Yes, ma'am.
You do offer shipping. And so with you saying that House of Color is not just locally, it is all over. I am sure that there are consultants. And as you said, there are apps, there are other services that do offer this.
It's actually on our website. Every item that's on our website, when you look at the materials, the dimensions, it'll say season, and it'll tell you whether it's winter, spring, summer, or fall. Now, please, that doesn't mean that you can, if it says winter, it doesn't mean you should only wear that in the winter. No, that just means that it's a winter color for those people that already know that they are in that season. And so, and then in the store, everything is categorized by season too. So once you know your colors, you walk in there and you can just go straight directly to the colors that look best on you.
That is fantastic.
Oh, it's amazing.
Now, I am someone that I do dress for my personality. So everything is
and I love it. I love it.
Today, I'm currently wearing a sweatshirt that my friend made.
I love it.
My Heather's Most Precious with my logo and picture on it. And my husband this morning was like, most people wouldn't feel comfortable wearing a picture of themselves around. And I was like, it's a good thing I'm not most people.
You're not.
I love it.
You are excited. You. I love it.
I am. Yeah. But I get a lot. And I get this from my mama because I love fascinators and I love accessories and I will match from head to toe. My granny always, Perfect Patty, always had jewelry. And just head to toe was totally matching. And I blame her for my obsession with that. But people will say, oh my goodness, I wish I could wear that, but I can't. Yeah. And my thing is always, you can.
Yeah.
It's a choice, right? Yes, it's a choice. If you want to. Now, everyone should feel comfortable. And I get that some people are not like, I do not own a pair of yoga pants. Anytime I go to physical therapy and things like that, they're like, you can just dress down, because I show up, of course, in a dress or I'm like that. Yeah.
You're so fancy, Heather.
I just don't. I'm not comfortable. And so
not even for home hanging out, yoga pants.
Like, I have like nice leggings that would go like under a dress, but no, no. I am comfortable in a dress. Probably the most dressy person in a room ever. That bothered me when I was a teenager. And when I got married, I was 20 years old. And something changed in me that I finally was like, you know what? This is me. And I don't care. I don't, people stare and that's okay.
I don't think people stare as a bad thing. I think people stare because you look good and it fits your personality. And I love that. So I don't think, as women, we can be so hard on ourselves.
Oh, for sure.
We can be like, oh, they're staring at me. Maybe they think I'm too wild, too bold with my colors. No, when I first met you, I loved what you were wearing. I just loved your hair, your makeup, your earrings, the dress. I think you were wearing like a pink. It had pink and I still remember it. And I just thought, okay, how cool! Like I want to look like her, So I was not thinking, she's too bold. No, I just thought I loved it. And I think that shows confidence because you're so comfortable in your own skin that you can wear those things. And so it's like white. Listen, I will wear white whenever I want all year round because Why should someone tell you you cannot wear white?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
you guys, like, you know, no.
2023.
Exactly. And I used to live in Florida. We wear white all year. So I just think that you should be able to wear what looks good on you. Because again, you know, that is just a layer of our bodies, you know, is not our true essence, you know. Our body's a conduit to do the things, to hug, to kiss someone, to cook, to hold someone's hand. But the true essence of who you are is what's inside.
Of course.
And so we got to take care of that first.
Right.
And we hope that women, as they go through the different stages of their lives, which, you know, which our hormones change as we age. Some of us birth children, so our bodies will look different. Yeah. Menopause, and that's normal. That is part of being a woman. And we have to embrace that. I really wish that I talked better about my body as my girls were younger.
Yes.
You know, and that is something that as women, we have this stewardship over the younger generations. I'm sure we've all done it at some measure, at some point in our lives. But if we can bring awareness of how we talk about our bodies in front of the younger generations is so important, because we are laying the path on how they should feel about their bodies and what they're going to be thinking about their bodies. And yes, again, we got to take care of our bodies, be healthy and nourish it in the best way possible. But, you know, gaining 5 pounds because you gave birth, it's the most natural thing in the world. And that means you've given life.
Yes.
You've given life.
Which is the most incredible thing.
Which is the most incredible thing. And so that is the important part, not the 5 pounds we gained after giving birth. And so we have to be conscious of that message that we share with the younger girls.
Yes. And with ourselves, when we look in the mirror and we complain about, you know, the flab on your arm, or that you have another wrinkle, or the hair on your chin, whatever it is, but being kind to yourself as well is so important. And I think that with that same mindset, I do want to give some encouragement to our viewers today. If you are listening, I think so often we're talking about being kind to ourselves, and we talked about being kind to others, but regardless of size and what we see in the media and what is being shown on social media, right? It's either very kind or very mean and ugly, and there's really not an in-between. But I would encourage you, be cautious as you look at other people, as you, sometimes the thoughts that are in your head show on your face in not very kind ways. But I would just say, you always hear you don't know what someone else is going through. And we know that that is very true, don't we, Josselyn?
Yes.
We never know the hardships that they're facing. But on that same body style, body positivity, someone might be overweight, not because they're sitting there eating Twinkies every day, but because they have a medical ailment that they are trying to face. I mean, I personally, so I'm still recovering from a spinal cord injury from a car accident a few years ago. And I, from a nerve medication that I was put on in the hospital, I gained about 50 pounds in not even 6 months because of this medication. And it's one of those things. So you really don't know without having a conversation with someone, and not that you're going to go up and be like, why do you weigh what you weigh? But just remembering that everyone is facing their own battle. It doesn't help you at all if we do have that judgment toward them. And sometimes we miss out on opportunities to meet really cool people, or to brighten somebody else's day because of the way that we are looking at them without realizing it. So instead of being able to engage with a smile or a wave as they pass, or, my family always makes fun of me because anywhere I go, I like to compliment people.
I see that.
There's nothing more special than someone, if they know you calling your name, but then somebody telling you something good about yourself. Oh my goodness, you're having the best hair day. Just a little nugget of kindness to make their day brighter is so important. And I'd often think those make me feel better. And that's not why I do it. I'm not like, I'm going to run into the store so that I can feel great about myself and comment on other people. But as you do, talk to other people and encourage other people and see something that triggers you to think, oh my goodness, that's gorgeous, or I like that, or ooh, where could I get that? You will naturally feel better about yourself. And it's a beautiful thing when just the harmony, when you're creating harmony, when you're a piece of that, how much brighter your spirits are, and you lift yourself up by elevating other people. And I think that's so encouraging, and I wish that we would do it more often.
Thank you for sharing that with me, because then awareness is just so big, right? And so I've always felt that vulnerability is the best thing we could share with others. And so thank you for sharing that with me, because I hope I don't do that. But now that you've brought it up and to your listeners, I think it's something that now we're going to be more aware of it. And then we're going to make sure that hopefully I don't do that. But if I do, then, that I don't continue to do that. As you get older and understanding the concept of why do we have to go through trials? And it's something that when I was younger, I used to wonder, why do we have to go through trials? And I truly believe that trials help us be more accepting and understanding of other people.
Yes.
Because when you go through hardships, whatever it may be, financial, whether you had an accident and you've all of a sudden gained a lot of weight, or whether it's divorce, whatever it may be, I feel like when you go through that, it just makes you understand other people better.
Of course.
Because there's just a humbling experience when you go through something hard, and it makes you be more understanding of others. And so thank you for sharing.
Absolutely. I would say the most empathetic people have been through really tough times. And
that's true.
Anything you go to can either make you bitter or better, right? We can grow or we can stay the same. And not that change is ever easy or what you want. 2 seconds changed my entire life. Yes. And my mobility and the way I parent, all of that was changed in the blink of an eye. And I just think there are so many ways that we could help, encourage, and grow and learn together, right? And I've often said, like, I would not wish on anybody what I have been through, but I also wouldn't want to watch somebody else walk through it. I'm grateful that it happened to me and not somebody else. And I do see the way that the Lord has blessed me through this, and the things I do often like to look inward at myself when things around me are kind of chaotic. Of what role am I playing here?
Yeah.
Is there something that I'm being convicted of, right? Or that I can do differently in this case? And I think the more we're able to be self-aware and the more we're able to bring harmony, those are the two biggest things that I think as women we can do to help make the world a little bit of a better place.
Well, Heather, this is really beautiful to watch. I wish your listeners were here seeing what I'm seeing, because knowing this story, when we met, yes, I did see you in a wheelchair, but I didn't get a chance to ask you why you were in a wheelchair. We were like in a professional setting at a luncheon, and so there was no time to have a one-on-one conversation. But I wish your listeners were here seeing you, and you just have such a positive aura about you, and never in a million years, because you're sitting in a chair. I didn't even notice this was a wheelchair. You're at your desk, you have your computer, and it looked like it was a regular chair. And I said, hey, where's your wheelchair? And when I came in, and you said, oh, this is my wheelchair. And you just have this beautiful personality, positive. I mean, there's just so much radiance coming out of you, oozing out of you. And even though you had something so hard happen to you, and to see that you've taken the better, not bitter. And I don't know, perhaps maybe some days you have more bitters than better days. But I feel like, I mean, it's obvious to me that you've chosen to take the better route. And so thank you for being a North Star.
Absolutely.
Thank you, because that's what you're doing right now.
Very incredibly kind words. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's beautiful because we feed off of each other. And
of course.
And I am sure that when I have my bitter days, I'm going to remember your story. When that's what I love when women share their stories, because I thrive on other people's stories.
Absolutely.
And I promise you, Heather, that when I'm having a bitter day, I am going to remember this conversation and I'm going to remember your story. And I know that's going to help me to turn my bitter days into better days.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
And what we are not saying is that you can't have the days. I'm 97% positive. I've got about 3% of me that with PTSD or with certain things that make it really hard. There are pain days. There are days that I wish that I was in a different position. But I think even in those, if we can, always wishing forward instead of being able to look back and say, oh my goodness, look how far I've come, right? Those are important steps. But happiness is a choice, right? It's a choice to choose to have a good day, to choose to let something affect the whole day or be just a really bad 7-minute piece of your day, right?
Yeah.
So I hope y'all are able to be encouraged, to be challenged, to share joy with others, to compliment somebody or make their day a little brighter. And I'm just so excited for y'all to share with us as you do that, how much better you feel and how much your spirits are lifted. If you are interested, where can they find your boutique online?
Oh, yes. Thank you. I forgot we were talking about the boutique. The conversation is so amazing. I love it. Thank you, Heather. This is awesome. This is amazing. So it's thenorthstarboutique.com. We ship all over the U.S. Not shipping international yet. Maybe that'll come. Remember, I'm still new. And then you can find us at 313 Manufacturers Road. For the local listeners, we are in the Whole Foods Shopping Center in the North Shore. We're open Tuesday through Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
That is perfect.
So come say hello. I love meeting our new customers. We're creating a tribe there in North Star Boutique, and I just love it. I love all the bonds we're creating there. Absolutely. So thank you for having me. Heather.
Yes, thank you, Josselyn, for coming. This has been just so much fun.
Heather's Most Precious is brought to you with love by the Hendrickson Agency, an insurance agency serving all of Georgia and Tennessee. The Hendrickson Agency, properly protecting your most precious possessions. Support for Heather's Most Precious is provided by Study.com, which offers SAT and ACT study materials and even has resources for AP and college credit courses. Listeners of Heather's Most Precious get 30% off their first 3 months of any subscription level with offer code PRECIOUS. Just go to Study.com and use offer code PRECIOUS at checkout. Heather's Most Precious is produced by Chattanooga Podcast Studios and is part of the Podnooga Network. Find out more at ChattanoogaPodcastStudios.com. Thanks again for listening. We'll be back soon with another episode of Heather's Most Precious.